Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony, and welcome to another edition of BNA Sports Talk. And tomorrow, or over the past week, next week, I'm going to start making highlight videos for the Giants. Evan Ingram lowlights, Daniel Jones highlights, and ups and downs of the season. And I think it should be fun to kind of reminisce of certain plays that happened. Because when I'm looking back on some of these plays, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that happened. Like remember the miscue on special teams against Dallas where we scored a touchdown. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that play, and different things like that. But I want to discuss more about Daniel Jones, and at the end of the video, we'll get into my favorite plays from Daniel Jones. So when breaking this down, when coming up with this video concept, I kind of came up with the list. What are the traits that Daniel Jones does well? What are the basics? He's an extremely hard worker, like Tom Brady. Extremely hard worker. He's grinding in the offseason. He doesn't have the best, natural instincts. He holds the ball in the pocket a little bit too long. We'll get more into his weaknesses a little bit later, but we'll discuss them as I'm talking about his great traits. But, his work ethic is great. He's trying to understand the offense, and we've seen he struggled a little bit earlier. I think he was staring down receivers because he didn't really know the offense that great. He's still processing things. Now when you know where players are and where they're supposed to be, it's like the back of your hand. You know where that guy is, just like nothing. You can trust these guys. Now he's getting more and more trust. He's not staring down his guys. He knows, okay, one read, two read, and that comes with the offense. Everyone else understanding the offense and you understanding the offense as well. So overall, he's great with that. The run, I would like to see him run a little bit less. Not take a big hit. He took a big hit against Washington. Hopefully I'll have it pulled up, but he took a big hit. Dude, this bye week is at a perfect time. Don't stop doing that sort of thing. You want teams to respect the run. With certain teams before, I'm like, come on, Daniel Jones with Pat Shermer. I'm like, run it more. He's an athlete. Make him run, because now teams respect that, and it opens up a whole bunch of other things that I don't quite understand completely 100% with schematics, but we all know that. If you can run the ball, teams have to respect that. That's one less person. And Jason Garrett, I saw QB School break it down. Jason Garrett's drawn up some creative plays, which I really like, and that's helping Daniel Jones out a lot. But Daniel Jones can run the ball. He's fast. He's quick. He needs to learn how to slide. I always mention it, but he's getting kind of better with that. But he's going to get his head taken off. So Daniel Jones can run. He's fast enough. He's a functional athlete, and that's what you need in today. The people say that in today's NFL. You need a guy that could run. You don't need a running quarterback. You need a quarterback that could run. And we take a look at other quarterbacks, Dwayne Haskins, Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold can do it, but Dwayne Haskins, he couldn't do it. So Daniel Jones can do that. And his ball placement is pretty good. Now he's starting to get better understanding of ball placement. Well, he's always been good with ball placement. I shouldn't say that. Throwing the ball in the correct place. His just arm strength sometimes doesn't allow him to get the ball all the way outside. Throwing on the run, he struggles with, especially in that Rams play, that interception. He was throwing on the run. He couldn't get the ball to the outside. The Buccaneers play, I'm going to highlight those plays later, but he couldn't quite get the ball to the outside. He needs to work on those specific things, but overall ball placement, I didn't realize that not all quarterbacks make every single downfield throw. His accuracy this year is up from last year, about 2%, and his bad throws are down about 1%. He's around 20th in the NFL as far as accuracy, but I think that number is going to go up the more he throws it downfield, and the more he gets comfortable in this offense, and the more the offensive line plays better, and there's not people in his face. So, again, here's some of his improvements so far. He's reading and understanding the offense a little bit better. We see that. You can watch people break down plays. Sorry, I'm not doing that today. He's getting the ball out quicker. That's the thing. He's not just holding on to the ball. He's not second-guessing himself, and I think that comes with understanding the offense. Get the ball quick. That's making the offensive line look better, creating a little bit more continuity and a little bit more fluidity there. And, and I think that will help us with more explosive plays. Not thinking too much and, fewer turnovers, having fewer turnovers. He's cut his fumbles in half this year. People say, he fumbled this amount of times. He fumbled twice against Washington, but he recovered them. People got to look at the long-term trends. He's cut his fumbles in half. People at Carson Wentz just never learn. It looks like Daniel Jones is learning. He doesn't have the best instincts in the world, like I mentioned before, but he's not turning the ball over. And fumbling is a little bit of luck too. It depends on where the ball bounces, but he's holding on to the ball a couple of games this year, the last year that's a fumble. Last year, that's 100% a fumble. And Daniel Jones this year is second in pressure percentage. He's getting pressured more than anybody in the NFL besides Nick Mullins. And, that's a pretty small sample size for Nick Mullins. So he's pretty much getting pressured more than anybody else. It's about on par to what it was last year. but he's also throwing the ball away more than anybody else. He has 14 throwaways. I think that's tied second. Number 1 is 15, so he's right there with the highest throwaways in the league. So as much as you want to say he's not throwing the ball away, he's throwing the ball away a decent bit. Here are some of my favorite plays by Daniel Jones. I'm not including some great reads that he made or like a random screen pass or something like that because those aren't that exciting. And I know he's had some of those plays. It's just not that sexy. So here are my top 5 plays. And I'm not going to explain all of them. Just watch them and enjoy them. Now, for all the good plays, here are the 5 worst plays I think that are from Daniel Jones. And, some of them weren't quite his fault, but some of them were egregious. Some of them, the criteria for this is like, no, what are you doing? What are you doing? What? And just like that, we made it to the end of the video. Let me know what you guys think. Did I miss any highlights, high plays, low plays, anything, any great moments from the season? I'll make sure to have a couple more highlight videos in the next coming weeks. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.